Shall start now. Please switch off your cell phones. ಕೆಲವು ಕ್ಷಣಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರದರ್ಶನ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭವಾಗುವುದು. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ತಮ್ಮ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಫೋನ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
The blue sky, the orange tint at the horizon surrounds a deep red disk, the setting sun. A new shade envelops the sky at dusk and finally fades away. The distant buildings appear as silhouettes and their faint glow lights up the horizon. Gradually, the black canvas gets decorated with silvery dots. Another beauty of nature unfolds before us. Gradually, these dots decorate the sky all over. One here, one there, and then everywhere.
ओ तेरी रियल लग रहा है ना ये। ऐसे हर चीज देखने को मिलता है। अच्छा मैच कर रहा सॉन्ग।
The apparent random distribution of stars attracted our ancestors too. Watching them night after night, they attempted to see an orderliness. They expressed their imagination in their own way. The patterns of triangles, squares, and arcs offer ample opportunities for creative minds to imagine familiar things. Bull, hunter, damsel, king, queen, anything. The sky is also a celestial zoo, with a variety of animals, fish, snakes, and many mythical creatures like half man and half horse, and so on. The earlier navigators who explored the southern hemisphere imagined a telescope, a triangle, and similar instruments. These imaginary figures are called constellations. That was the beginning of our quest for knowledge. Here is a dais for a celestial opera with king, queen, princess, and so on. King Cepheus, a proud queen Cassiopeia, their beautiful daughter Andromeda. In order to teach a lesson to the proud queen, the sea monster Cetus demanded the young girl to be offered as a sacrifice. She was left chained at the sea. The courageous hero Perseus came flying through the sky after a successful mission of killing Medusa, the witch. Seeing the plight of Andromeda, he came down and rescued her. The story helps us remember the constellation names. They may also be remembered as Yudhishthira, Draupadi, Kunti, and Partha. There can be different nomenclatures in different civilizations for the same constellation. The International Astronomical Union, an international authority on astronomy, has laid down the boundaries of the constellations, covering the entire sky as a standardization measure to ease communications and fix the names. Hence, there will be no more new constellations. The sky is divided into 88 constellations. Among those, 12 are familiar. They constitute a belt in the sky called the zodiac. Some of these can be seen here. Aries, that is Mesha. Taurus, that is Rishabh. Gemini, that is Mithun. Cancer, that is Kataka. This is a celestial highway. Highway? Who are the travelers? Let us look at them with the moon, the easiest. Each day it is seen in the direction of a different star. Night after night, as we watch the moon, we realize that 27 stars suffice to chart its journey. The names again may be familiar to you as Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini, and so on. Quite obviously, these 27 stars also lie along the zodiacal belt. A simple observation which culminated in the creation of a calendar. The constellations are imaginary figures. In reality, there is no bull in Taurus. Aries is a small triangle. The names hardly match the pattern. The imaginary figures serve as direction indicators in the sky. As we enjoy the night sky, the royal parade of stars marches to the west. Time ticks on. The westward parade is due to the rotation of the Earth. Our journey in space creates the illusion of stars, the sun, and the moon moving from east to west. This is diurnal motion. As some of the stars sink into the western horizon, new ones appear in the east. Except one, the pole star, or the Dhruva Nakshatra. which appears to be stationary. In addition to these stars, there are 5 planets visible to the naked eye, known to us from time immemorial. Venus, or Shukra, needs no introduction. Dazzling as the brightest object, it steals the show. The most elusive planet is Mercury, or Buddha. It is generally lost in the twilight either at dusk or at dawn. Mercury and Venus are visible just for a few hours, sometimes before sunrise and sometimes after sunset. Mars, or Mangala, is another planet that is easy to distinguish because of its orange color. When Mars or Mangala is near, it appears as a bright orange dot. At other times it is barely visible. Saturn, or Shani, is not as bright as the other 4. But here in the planetarium sky, you can see it not only as a bright planet, but you can see the rings too. Jupiter, or Guru, is another bright planet that is easy to recognize. Planets move against the backdrop of stars. Occasionally, they seem to make loopy motions, known as retrograde motion. This puzzled ancient astronomers who believed that the planets went around the Earth. The explanation demanded very complicated orbits for the planets. Nikolai Copernicus, Tycho Brahe, and the contemporary Indian astronomers Parameshwara and Nilakantha Somyaji explained the movement of planets by creating different models of the solar system. A near-perfect model was provided by Nikolai Copernicus. He put the sun at the center and suggested that the Earth goes round the sun. Let us see how the Copernican heliocentric model satisfactorily explained the retrograde motion. Imagine the Earth overtaking Mars. Mars appears to slow down, stay still, and starts moving backwards. As they continue the journey, Mars again becomes stationary and resumes the motion in the original direction. Thus, the mystery of retrograde motion could be solved only by setting the Earth into motion as given by the Copernican model. In reality, neither speed nor the direction of motion of Mars changes. This is only an apparent motion resulting from the Earth overtaking Mars. Making the Earth move round the Sun was a revolutionary idea indeed. The solar system has the mighty Sun at the center.
देखो नेपच्यून सही हो गया सारे मसले के स्टार्ट हुए तो ब्राइटनेस थोड़ी
Mercury closest to the Sun, followed by Venus,
Earth,
Earth,
Mars,
Mars,
Jupiter,
Jupiter, Saturn,
Ring Sky,
Uranus, and Neptune. The heliocentric theory pleased many, but irritated too many. The books were banned. Followers of Copernicus were punished. One of them, Giordano Bruno, was burnt alive. Those days of severe struggle saw Galileo Galilei emerge as a new pathfinder. He turned the wonder called the telescope to the sky and made new observations. The moon has mountains. Venus shows faces. The sun has spots. And Jupiter is a miniature solar system. Just as Copernicus had predicted, Galileo saw Venus as a thin but large crescent and a small gibbous.
what's there to plan?
No wonder many thought that the telescope was a mysterious instrument operated by a devil to trick the viewer. Johannes Kepler worked out the orbits of planets and showed that they were ellipses. These observations could not explain the physical principle responsible for the planets going round the sun. The necessary mathematical tools were invented by Isaac Newton, who worked out the orbit of the moon. This led to the universal law of gravitation, the answer to a big why for planetary motion. Tiny telescope paved way for bigger ones, which opened wider avenues. Larger and larger telescopes searched the sky. William Herschel discovered planet Uranus. It was a faint dot among the stars, and he noticed the movement after meticulous observations. Along with the observations from telescopes, a very strong foundation was provided by mathematics and laboratory experiments. Uranus was seen ahead of its calculated position for a while, and later it started lagging behind. Using the law of gravitation, the possibility of a new planet was conjectured. These small departures in the motion of Uranus led to the discovery of a still farther planet, Neptune. meantime, many small bodies were discovered. These irregularly shaped objects are distributed between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. They constitute the asteroid belt.
ये बढ़िया है ये देख ऐसा लग रहा है अपने पास जा रहा है
A similar belt of small bubbles is seen at a distance
Shit.
almost near Earth. This is called hypermoon.
यही VR में होता कम बढ़िया लगता है
Pluto belongs to this belt. The question now is, how vast is our solar
अब
system?
आएगा मेरा शायद
We can attempt to mark the edge of the solar system with compass. These awesome visitors offer the truth.
शूटिंग स्टार
Edmund Halley showed that they do belong to the solar system. The Dutch astronomer Jan Hooft studied them with great interest. Where do they come from? He rightly conjectured a vast storehouse of comets far beyond Pluto. He suggested that they envelop the solar system like a cloud, which bears his name today.
यानी तो प्लान ही दो इतना मस्त
Naked eye and telescopic observations have helped us get a scale of the solar system. Space explorations have further added to the knowledge. Tsiolkovsky, a humble school teacher in Russia, worked out ways to leap into the sky almost 100 years ago. Decades of experimentation by Robert Goddard and Werner von Braun paved the way to success. The Russians launched Sputnik into space in 1957.
ये तो क्या बढ़िया
Since then, there has been no looking back. Our wings are growing stronger and stronger.
चंद्रयान 3
Man put his first step on the moon in 1969. A step which in reality was indeed a giant leap.
आर्मस्ट्रॉन्ग
Unmanned spaceships have visited other planets. The visit of Venus revealed its hostility. Its thick atmosphere, believed to be pumped with volcanic gases, traps the heat from the sun. The awful heat, the caustic atmosphere turns away any human. Night or day are equally long and equally hot.
ये तो देगा क्या
It is not a dream home anymore. Let us now look at Mars. Two moons are in an eternal race. Red soil, valleys, large pits, and a cool atmosphere. There are many questions. What are the markings on its surface? Rivers flowing there? Is there life on Mars? We seek answers through the small vehicles moving around there. Spirit, opportunity, and curiosity
ये देखा क्यूरियोसिटी का
provide us
क्या
a
बढ़िया चीज़ है।
brand new insight on Mars. Apart from Venus and Mars, missions devoted to specific planets were launched in the recent past.
ये 5%
Galileo became the first artificial satellite of Jupiter. It flew through the thin rings and revolved around Jupiter for over 8 years.
4 मून है इसके.
The striking features on Jupiter are the atmospheric bands and the great red spot.
मेन 4 है शायद.
Galileo revealed interesting information about the satellites. Ganymede, with a thin atmosphere. Callisto, with a good number of ticks on its surface. Io, with volcanoes. And Europa shows traces of water and is therefore the target of future explorations. Many small satellites are hiding in the glare of this largest planet. Saturn is the next target. The rings offer a beautiful sight as we approach Saturn. Saturn also has a man-made satellite, Cassini. Cassini moved through the rings.
इसके मुंह मैं ये तो नहीं
Voyager, which was launched in the 1980s, flew past Saturn to reach Uranus and provided close-up shots.
क्या यूरेनस और नेपट्यून है? सीधे कितने मून?
Later, it moved past Neptune too. There are thousands of small bodies like the satellites of giant planets and the asteroids. Among them, comets are the most impressive. Comets are popularly called dirty snowballs. Their fragile rocky structure is held together by ice and frozen carbon dioxide. As they approach the sun, the material evaporates and envelops it like a cloud. This is pushed out by the solar wind that gives the appearance of a tail. As they get nearer, more material evaporates and the tail seems to grow longer. Comet Halley returned punctually in 1986,
चाहिए हाली है.
providing the best opportunity to launch 4 spaceships. Subsequently, that success saw several missions targeted to comets. Deep space, stardust, and deep impact are some of them. Deep space moved past comet Borrelli. The spaceship Stardust moved into the tail of comet Wilson, collected the dust to return to Earth.
ऐसे कलेक्ट होती है.
Deep impact released a probe which crashed into the comet Temple and created a crater.
अच्छा ये टकरा गई. अरे गंदा एनिमेशन यार.
Many chemicals necessary for the life processes have been identified in comets. the contribution of comets to the origin of life on Earth is being studied. Having studied the farthest objects in our solar system, let us now return to the nearest star, the Sun. The white disk that you see is called the photosphere. Its brilliance is the result of nuclear fusion reactions in the core of this sphere. Looking at the sun directly is dangerous. However, Mother Nature very kindly provides excellent opportunities for trouble-free observations. This is when the moon covers the sun. An unforgettable sight indeed. This phenomenon is known to us from time immemorial as the solar eclipse. This is a simple shadow play. Such total solar eclipses reveal the structure of the sun. The outermost, corona, the inner pink-colored ring, chromosphere, and the photosphere. Here the photosphere appears dark because the moon has covered it. While the astronomers knew the truth, laypersons believed in mythological legends. Rahu, a fierce demon, swallowing up the sun. A dragon, killing the sun. Wolves, attacking the sun, and so on. Several spaceships have targeted the sun. Soho sends day-to-day images. Ulysses, Yoko, and Inode are more recent ones. The sun is a star, one among the thousands we see in the sky. How was it formed? It started as a slowly rotating, huge mass of gas. Matter contracted to the core due to gravitational force. The cloud settled in to a disk. The central mass got hotter and hotter. When it was sufficiently hot to trigger nuclear reactions, energy was released. It became a star. In the meanwhile, the disk created blobs, which turned into planets. Our solar system has very tiny members too. Let us see where they are. On any dawn, a casual glance of the night sky shows moving streaks of light. Tiny bodies enter the Earth's atmosphere and burn up in the air. These are called meteors. Sometimes you see a large number of them. This is called a meteor shower. Occasionally, larger bodies crash on the Earth. They can create a crater, which eventually turns into a lake. Some can also pierce a terrace and disturb an otherwise peaceful home. Some of them explode in mid-air. Associated shock waves can shatter the glass panes of windows and chop off trees. The danger of larger impacts lurks in the form of rocks that hover around too close to the Earth. Such potential killer asteroids are named near-Earth asteroids and are under constant vigil. large number of them at a safe distance beyond Pluto. 7. Eris, Burma, and Quark are as large as Pluto. This led to a debate on the status of Pluto as a planet and resulted in a revised definition of planet. Thus, Pluto, Ceres, Eris, and many more were classified into a new category of dwarf planets.
Pluto के अलावा इन तीनों के नाम नहीं बताते मुझे।
मुझे भी नहीं बताते।
That's not all. Pluto with 5 satellites. Eris with 2. The list is growing. With larger and more sophisticated telescopes keeping a watchful eye, a large number of smaller bodies have been discovered. It is expanding our knowledge of the boundary of the solar system. That takes us back to the question: how vast is the solar system? We still do not have an answer. Spaceships launched in 1979-80 successfully flew through the solar system. The duo Pioneer and Voyager have touched the edge of the solar system. Any information we get from them may be a surprise. Then, will we be able to fix a boundary for our solar system? Let us wait and see.